Hey, 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 hey. You are tuned in to episode 39 of Excuse Me, I'm Speaking. This podcast is being brought to you by yours truly. Y'all already know who it is. It is me. It is she. You can call me Twinkle, call me SheIsTwinkle, or call me Antoinette. As long as you're calling my name, that's all that matters to me. I know that a lot of time has gone by, y'all. It's the summertime. The kids got out of school, and thank God they have started summer school. But there's a lot to address in today's episode. So let's just go ahead and get started with the most important topic of them all, Juneteenth. So as y'all know, Juneteenth is on June 19th every year. This year on Juneteenth, I was feeling a little weird. I was feeling strange. Why, you ask? Okay, let me tell you. So I'm sitting there looking through my phone. I know it's a holiday. I know that a lot of people are off for the holiday. Should I text somebody? Did y'all text somebody? Did you say happy Juneteenth? Happy We Free Day? Like, that's kind of weird, you know? On Thanksgiving, you know to say happy Thanksgiving. On Christmas, you know to say Merry Christmas. On people's birthdays, you know to say happy birthday. But it's kind of weird to say happy Juneteenth. We ain't slaves no more. We free day. That's kind of weird. So I didn't say happy Juneteenth to anybody, but I did celebrate the day in my own way. Now, before I get to how I celebrated, I want to know, did y'all jobs give y'all the day off? Now, I know that this is a new federal holiday, but I'm looking at companies side-eye if they do not give their employees the day off. Where are your morals? Where are your values? You don't care about the stain that was on America because of slavery. I mean, I know there's a lot of other things, but if y'all ain't gonna give Black people their reparations, then the least you could do is give them the day off on Juneteenth. Now, if you're in the medical industry, I understand. I also understand this is a new holiday. So some jobs have not caught on yet, but jump on the bandwagon because we need the day off. All right? Okay. Beyond that, how did I decide to celebrate Juneteenth? Well, after we dropped my little ones off at summer school, we decided to go and see Bad Boys 4, Ride or Die. I'm going to start off by saying I really never have high hopes for a movie that is on its fourth installment. Because by number 4, I feel like the filmmaker is going to mess something up. Personally, when I saw Bad Boys 3, I just really wasn't that impressed. So now that they're coming out with a 4, I'm like, how did y'all even get a 4? Mind you, there have not been a lot of marketing for this movie. There's not a lot of publicity. I guess folks are still upset about the Will Smith, Chris Rock slap, but hey, I feel like y'all put a lot of money into this movie. Y'all need to market it and then just teach him how to answer the questions accordingly when the interviewers ask him. But anywho, back to the movie. We went to see this movie. And I must say, it exceeded expectations. It really did. I was so shocked. I was into it the entire time. Martin Lawrence is so much better than he was in the last movie. In the last movie, they had him being like a scaredy cat. He was just always making corny jokes. He was eating all the food all the time. And the jokes just got old and tired. And I was just sick of his character. Like, he was not an asset to the team whatsoever. Now, in this one, Martin Lawrence has lost all fear. He's still funny, but he's actively a part of the team, the mission. And then to bring in Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, and then Will Smith's son in the movie, it was like a great combination. It was definitely action-packed. What was so cool about it is that they also tied in some of the storylines from previous movies and tied them into this movie. So everything was connected. And I just thought that it was a great watch. I would definitely go and see it again. So if y'all are wondering whether y'all should spend that high dollar movie ticket, because y'all, the concessions, do y'all know that popcorn was $9.99? Are you kidding me? Like, what happened to $6? Anyway, if you don't get the popcorn, if you don't buy snacks there, then at least go and buy the movie ticket and do like me. Just like stuff some food in your purse and eat it in the theater. It'll be totally fine. Everybody does it, whatever. Anywho, we supported 2 Black actors, being Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. Then we went to go support 2 Black businesses. They were restaurants, so shout out to Peachtree Cafeteria Kitchen. We went there to get our kids' food. Me and my husband, we went to Gates Barbecue. This is all in Kansas City, so if you ever travel to Kansas City, make sure you check out those two Black-owned businesses and buy Black. Let me know down below how y'all chose to celebrate Juneteenth. Another really big celebrity chose to celebrate Juneteenth with a huge concert and bringing together unity in LA. Of course, I am talking about the one, the only Kendrick Lamar. Now, I briefly brought him up at the end of my last podcast. If y'all can recall, he obviously beat Drake in the rap battle, beef, whatever they had. Drake has since then taken down all of his little Kendrick Lamar disses that he put on Instagram. He took that down, of course, because you lost. Fast forward, Kendrick Lamar was not done. So Kendrick Lamar, out of nowhere, puts on Instagram just a few weeks before Juneteenth that he is having a Juneteenth concert called Ken and Friends. Of course, it's in LA. A bunch of his rapper friends, especially from that area, come out before him and they performed a bunch of their songs. Some of them were big name people that we know in the industry, and then some of them we weren't privy to. So now if you liked any of their songs, then you're able to go back and listen and support them. But what were we all watching for? Kendrick Lamar. He comes out on the stage towards the end of it, and he starts off with Euphoria. Now, for those of you that aren't aware, Euphoria was the 6-minute diss track that he did to Drake during their rap beef battle. And I was just like, oh, wow, he's really not holding back. And when I tell you, you can hear the audience rapping the words in the background.
Random acts of kindness. Know you're a master manipulator and a bitch who will lie you too. But don't tell no lie about me, and I'm gonna tell the truth about you.
A 6-minute song, and the audience knew every single word. He didn't even have to sing every single word, because if he'd stopped singing or rapping, then all of a sudden the audience would pick it up and they would keep going with the beat and everything all the way through the end of the song. Then he gets into some of his throwbacks, which was from Good Kid, Mad City, which is the album that I absolutely love. He was going back and forth between some of his radio hits as well too. Then we have a surprise guest that comes out on stage. That surprise guest is none other than Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre, you got Dr. Dre to come out on stage? So the crowd goes wild. And what does Dr. Dre say in the microphone?
I'm gonna just need a moment of silence for this one. Psst, I see dead people.
And we already know that is the start of Kendrick's summertime jam, the biggest song of the summer, Not Like Us, the last diss track that he did to Drake. The crowd went wild. Everybody heard the beat drop and just started rapping like crazy because everybody else was just immediately into the song. So then he gets maybe 25% of the way through the song and he stops the beat. And he's quiet, everybody's still singing, going along. And then they're cheering for him. And then you hear people singing, "Oh, V-Ho, oh, V-Ho." It's crazy. Then, all of a sudden, he says, "Run it back." When I tell you, he ran this song back 6 times total, okay? He performed it 5 of the times. The 6th time was when he was walking out. But by the 3rd time he performed it, he was bringing people on stage with him. and they were rapping the lyrics to it, and they were dancing around. He had NBA players out there. He had other rappers out there. Like, imagine Drake sitting at home watching this, because I'm sure he's watching. You have to know what your competition is doing. I'm sure he's watching. He was praying and hoping that Kendrick Lamar would just make this be about Juneteenth, and none of those diss songs would make it to this concert. Well, that prayer did not get answered. If I was Drake, I would have been like, I just want to be invisible. I can't just pop out in public after this. The whole world knows this song. And now he has friends on stage with him, rapping the words in the camera. They even brought their kids up on stage, some of his friends' kids, and they're dancing on stage and they're hyping them up like, get it, man. Like, I was just like, oh my gosh, what a way to rub it in. But it wasn't even just rubbing it in. He said that he was doing it even more so just to show the unity that was needed in LA, because there's a lot of gang life that happens in LA. And they were also honoring the life and the passing of Nipsey Hussle as well as Kobe Bryant. And he was showing that all of them can be on stage at the same time and there's not beef and it's peaceful. He took a picture with all of them. It was just absolutely beautiful. There was no drama. There was no chaos. We don't hear stories of anything that erupted after that. And I thought that it was just absolutely beautiful. So now that we are past the Juneteenth celebrations, I do want to transition into the summer because, as you know, one of the things that a lot of people look forward to are those summer releases coming out in the movie theaters. One of those films that did come out in May was Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Now, this was supposed to be the sequel to the last Planet of the Apes movie. And when I tell y'all, I was also really impressed with this movie. I was a little caught off guard. This is a spoiler and a plot twist. Caesar is not in this movie. Y'all, Caesar is dead and gone in this movie. It was so sad. I was really looking forward to seeing Caesar. But all of Caesar's descendants, all the generations of apes that came after them, they are in this movie. And they can all speak as well, too. Now, they don't know how to read, but they can speak. Plot twist, the humans cannot speak in this movie. Well, as far as we know, the humans can't speak. But there are a few main key human characters in the movie, and I'm just going to say it's another spoiler alert. I knew the little girl could talk the whole time. Of course, she's on a mission of her own, and I won't ruin that for you, but y'all gotta watch it. It was a really good movie, and the way that it left off, there's definitely going to be a sequel. Now, I am hoping and praying that they do not take nearly as long as they did for the next movie as they did for this one, because at this point, I must just say forget it, because this is ridiculous. Anywho, y'all go and check that out. But beyond movies, there has been a lot coming out on streaming, on all of these different platforms, and we got to talk about it, all right? Y'all already know I absolutely love Bridgerton. I love Bridgerton. Bridgerton and Love is Blind is arguably the only reason why I just buckled down and paid for freaking Netflix after they did that stupid password sharing thing. Obviously, I'm not over it. So, Bridgerton Season 3, the most anticipated season of them all because it was supposed to be with Penelope and Colin. It came out, part 1 and then part 2 in June. And when I tell you, I could not catch my breath. It was such a good watch, but there were so many plot twists. And I'm like, what is going on my screen? It was a lot, but I really thought that Lady Whistledown was going to be able to conceal her identity, but spoiler alert, it has come out that Penelope, now Bridgerton, because she got married to Colin Bridgerton, it was cute. She has come out to say that she is Mrs. Whistledown and she is going to use her pen more responsibly. Now, being that we are only on the 3rd season, I just did not think that was a good idea to come out and say who she was. I compare Bridgerton to Gossip Girl, but it's just set in a different time period. Why would you reveal the big secret in season 3? Apparently, there's like 7 or 8 books of the Bridgerton series, and they're supposed to make a season for every single book. Why in the world would they reveal who Lady Whistledown was? But whatever, y'all. It was steamy. It was hot. If you watch it, don't watch it with your parents. Don't watch it around your kid. But it is definitely a good watch. Go and check it out. And if you have not watched it at all, start from season 1, because my vote is season 1 is still the best season of all time, hands down. Bring that Duke back, because him and his wife, those are the ones that we was really checking for. Nobody else has even met up to their standards at this point. Now, let's get to Power Book 2 Ghost. I don't even think I told y'all on this platform that it was coming out, but Power Book 2 Ghost with Tariq and Brayden has come back on our streams. They have had 2 episodes now at this point. And as we know, this is going to be the final season. But these first 2 episodes alone, I'm going to give it to them. They've been like very action-packed, and a lot of us fans out there are already trying to guess the ending. A lot of people thought that maybe Monet would have been deceased in this first episode since she was in the hospital, but she has not. She is still living and breathing, and she still don't know that her kids set her up. This is going to be very interesting how this all unfolds, and I do think 2 or 1 of her sons, they're not going to make it to the end of this show. And Effie is playing both sides of the fence. I don't know if she is going to survive this either. And I'm very frustrated because we still don't know Effie's background. She came from the original Power series, and we still don't know her background. We're on season 4 of the spinoff, and we just found out on last week's episode her real name is Josephina. And they said what her last name was, but I forgot. But that made me believe that he said her real name on purpose, because obviously she's connected to somebody, and that information is gonna have to come out at least in this season, because as you know, the writers were writing it as if this is their last and final season. So maybe her storyline will wrap up. I personally don't think that she will make it to the finish line. I'll come back in and check in with y'all and let y'all know how it all unfolds. Y'all let me know what y'all think down below. Now, House of the Dragon. The same week that Bridgerton came out, House of the Dragon came out. So I watched House of the Dragon. This is season 2, episode 1. I don't have much to say on it because I don't think that enough happened because it was a setup episode. But I'm excited about it. If you are a fan of that, it is back on. Go watch it. If you haven't, then go start from season 1. Better yet, go watch Game of Thrones, because Game of Thrones is so freaking good. And people don't believe me. You got to get through maybe the first 2 or 3 episodes, but then after that, you like, dang, I'm on episode 7 of season 3 already. Like, how did I get here? Binge watching, because it's just that good. Last but not least, in my little streaming updates, Perfect Match 2. I told y'all that was coming out this summer. After the Love is Blind reunion came out, they announced that Perfect Match 2 was coming out. Now, I didn't even waste my time reviewing that on YouTube because I personally don't understand the purpose of this. It's supposed to be a love experiment, but then there's also a winner at the end of the show. The couple that wins, they get sent away on an all-expense-paid romantic getaway. So the only incentive is to win a trip, not to actually be a couple. The couple that won last year, they didn't even go on the trip together. The moment that they won and they were voted the perfect match, she cheated on him with somebody else from a different Netflix dating show, and she went with her friends on this all-expense-paid trip paid for by Netflix. They didn't even last as a couple, and I felt bamboozled. Like, if I hadn't took out all this time to fall in love with these people falling in love with each other, and now to find out that this wasn't even real, you was playing him the whole time, and now I gotta watch him cry again on TikTok, I really felt some type of way. I just felt like, what is the purpose of this? You need to have it be an actual love show. The fact that you make it a competition, people are faking, and this is a waste of my time because these relationships are not even real. Moving right along. Now, I gotta talk about something that is important, politics. I try not to talk about it often, but y'all heard about it. Trump, he got the guilty verdict in his little hush money trial. 34 charges, and they were all guilty. I was like, what? What? Hold on, wait. And it's a felony as well, too? Now, we all know Trump is going to try to appeal it. And I guess when you do try to appeal it, you could drag it out for years upon years. By then, he could already become the president. And if you're the president, could you just like pardon yourself? That's something to think about. Also, I was reading on the NewYorkTimes.com, there's nothing in the Constitution that says that a felon cannot run for president. So that's really interesting. I have absolutely no idea what is going to happen. I'm also very confused as to why there is not another Republican candidate or a Democratic candidate or even an independent party. Like, nobody has stepped up. When I tell you this is going to be the weirdest, strangest election, just tell me right now, are y'all voting? Because in years past, I would have never said don't vote. But a part of me feels like this voter turnout is going to be extremely low this time around. We got Trump and we got Biden. Now, people want to call Biden grandpa. I mean, he do look like Papa, and somebody should take the microphone from him. He's 81 years old. But Trump is 77 years old. Now, he don't be acting like Biden. Biden look like he need a nap at all times. But like, come on now. Trump, Biden, 77, 81. 4 years from now, we're going to be in the exact same position with Trump. Like, what? I don't understand it. I don't get it. I think if any celebrity was serious about it, if they stepped up now, people would be like, well, shoot, I'm going to give them a try. Because at this point, what do you do? What difference is it going to make? Why are we in this position, America? I don't know. Anywho, I'm not about to end this podcast on a low note, all right? I'm going to end it on a high note with a quote of the day for today. The quote is by a woman by the name of Christine Kane. The quote is, sometimes when you're in a dark place, you think you've been buried, but you've actually been planted. Let me read that one more time. Sometimes when you're in a dark place, you think you've been buried, but you've actually been planted. Okay. So when you feel like you're just overwhelmed and you just feel like you're at the lowest of lows and you're in a dark place, you're not buried. You're just planted. And from here, you can only go up. You can grow from this situation. I always say, like, everything in life happens for a reason. Even the bad happens. Those things help to shape who we are if we learn from them and we grow from them. So I hope y'all enjoyed today's quick little podcast episode. As usual, follow me on Instagram at SheIsTwinkle1 and on YouTube at SheIsTwinkle. This has been another amazing episode of Excuse Me, I'm Speaking. I love you all. Thank you for your support, and I'm out. Bye.